So you know how we were talking about that whole keto thing last time?
Yeah.
And you mentioned you found this podcast called Keto Simplified.
Right.
I actually went and listened to it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I got to say, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah. It seems like they're really going beyond just like, another diet fad.
It's not just another diet book. They're actually like really diving deep into like the science behind it.
Science and the lifestyle.
Yeah. Like how to actually like live a keto lifestyle.
Yeah. The host even said something about it being a transformative way of eating.
Oh, yeah. I remember that part.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement.
Definitely got my attention.
For sure.
Well,
so,
what really stood out to you?
Well, what I found really interesting was how they kind of framed the whole keto thing.
Okay.
It's not just about like losing weight.
Right.
Which a lot of people
That's usually a big draw
for people.
Yeah.
But they really emphasize
the other benefits.
Yeah, like how this way of eating impacts your like energy.
Yeah.
And
your overall health.
Your overall health, yeah.
Not just how you look, but how you feel.
Exactly.
So how do they break it down? Like what are the actual fundamentals of this keto thing?
Well, they start with the basics, like cutting carbs drastically.
Like way down.
Yeah, way down to push your body into this state called ketosis.
Ketosis, that's
the magic word.
Okay, but what is it?
So basically, your body kind of flips a switch.
Okay.
Instead of running on carbs for energy, it starts burning fat.
Wait, so you're saying fat becomes like the main fuel?
Exactly.
Wow, that is wild.
It is pretty amazing.
I mean, almost sounds too good to be true.
Right? They actually gave us a great analogy in the podcast.
Yeah.
You know how like some cars can run on either gasoline or electricity?
Yeah, hybrids.
Right. So they're saying carbs are like the gasoline.
Okay.
Your usual go-to fuel.
Got it.
But with keto, you're basically switching to the electric engine.
And that's the fat burning.
Exactly. Using fat as your fuel.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's a pretty cool way to think about it.
It is. It's not just about like depriving yourself. It's like changing your whole...
Yeah, you're changing the source of energy.
Okay, but I gotta ask.
Yeah.
What about all that fat you're eating?
That's a good question.
Especially like saturated fat.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always been told it's bad for you.
Right. It's been a big debate in nutrition for years.
So what do they say about that?
Well, they actually address that head on.
Okay, good.
They emphasize the importance of choosing healthy fats.
Like what kinds?
Things like avocados, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah, the good fats.
Right.
Okay.
And they even cited some studies showing that this kind of shift can actually improve your cholesterol.
Really?
And your heart health.
So it's not just about weight loss.
No, not at all.
It's about overall health.
Exactly.
Okay. That's pretty reassuring.
Yeah.
Because I was a little skeptical about that.
I understand.
Okay. But they also talked about all these other potential benefits of keto.
Yeah.
Like increased energy, mental focus, weight management.
Right.
Did they back that up with any science?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Okay.
They actually cited a study where participants on a keto diet reported like a 20% increase in sustained energy levels.
20%? That's huge.
Compared to those on a standard diet.
Imagine having that much more energy.
I know, right?
I could definitely use that.
I could too.
And what about the mental clarity part?
So there's growing evidence that ketones, the fuel your body produces during ketosis, can actually enhance brain function.
Interesting.
And potentially even protect against cognitive decline.
So it's not just about how you look, it's about how sharp you feel.
Right. It's about feeling good and thinking clearly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get practical here.
Okay.
How do you actually do keto? Like, what do you eat?
Well, they emphasized meal prepping as a really key strategy.
So planning ahead.
Planning ahead and having keto-friendly meals and snacks ready to go.
Makes sense.
So you're not tempted to grab something that's not on the plan.
Right, because if you're hungry and you don't have anything ready,
exactly,
you're going to grab whatever's there.
You're going to reach for the easiest option.
Right.
Which might not be the best choice.
Exactly.
They also talked a lot about macronutrient ratios.
Macronutrient ratios, what's that all about?
It's basically the balance of fats, proteins, and carbs you need.
Okay.
So, it's not like a completely no-carb situation.
Oh, so you can have some carbs.
You have a small amount of carbs, mainly from veggies.
Oh, okay. So you got to eat your veggies.
Definitely veggies are super important.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. But I can imagine it's pretty tough to make such a drastic change.
Yeah, it can be a challenge.
Like your body's probably freaking out a little bit.
Well, they talked about this thing called the keto flu.
Oh, yeah, the keto flu. What is that exactly?
It's basically like a withdrawal.
Okay.
Your body's adapting to burning fat for fuel instead of carbs.
So it's like a transition period.
Yeah, it's a transition.
Okay.
And you might feel tired, achy, headachy.
Kind of like you actually have the flu.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But it's temporary.
It is temporary.
Okay, good.
And they gave some great tips for managing it.
Then like what?
They said hydration is key.
Drink lots of water.
Lots of water, electrolytes.
Electrolytes, what are those again?
Those are minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium.
Okay.
They help regulate your body's fluid balance.
Got it.
And getting enough sleep.
Oh, yeah. Sleep is always important.
Always important.
Especially when you're making a big change like this.
Right. You're putting your body through a lot.
Right.
So you need to support it.
Sounds like self-care is crucial.
Absolutely. Self-care is key.
Okay, but how do you make keto sustainable in the long run?
That's a great question.
I mean, wouldn't it be hard to stick with it?
It can be, but that's where personalization comes in.
Personalization.
Yeah, they highlighted that keto isn't one size fits all.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another.
That makes sense.
Right, so they actually mentioned a custom keto meal plan service.
Oh, wow. So you can get like a personalized plan?
Yeah, that takes into account your individual needs and preferences.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it could be a game changer for people who want a more tailored approach.
I could see that.
Yeah.
So just to kind of recap everything we learned, that keto is all about shifting your body into ketosis.
Right.
Using the fat as the main fuel source.
Exactly.
And there's actual scientific evidence to support its potential benefits.
Yeah, it's not just hype.
It's not just for weight loss. It could also improve energy levels, mental clarity, even heart health.
It's pretty amazing.
And it's not about blindly following some fad diet.
Right.
The Keto Simplified podcast really emphasized personalization, practical tips, and self-care.
And make it a sustainable change.
Yeah, it's not just about what you eat. It's about how you live.
It's a whole lifestyle shift.
Exactly.
So I guess the question for you is, could keto with its potential benefits and personalized approach be the right fit for you?
That's a great question to think about.
I think so.
Definitely a lot to consider.
There is...
Well, this has been a really interesting deep dive.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that podcast with me.
No problem, anytime.
I'm definitely going to have to check out some of their other episodes.
Yeah, they have some really good ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, until next time.
See you then. Bye.